What if your favorite sport was permanently canceled worldwide? Over the past few months, we've gotten a taste of what life would be like without sports. And I don't know about you, but for me, it's been pretty rough. And the thing is, without oil and natural gas, sports as we know them would cease to exist. If you love sports, then you should aggressively oppose the politicians and activists who are fighting to get rid of oil and natural gas. Take American football, for example. I'll talk about the worldwide football later. But just think about American football with no plastic, no padding, no synthetic fibers, etc. It would not exist. First off, we'd have no helmets and no cushioning material in the helmets and no face masks. So we'd basically be back to leather helmets, and no way anyone today would go for that. Then we wouldn't have any pads. We wouldn't have shoulder pads, hip pads, thigh pads, knee pads. We also wouldn't have cleats, the upper part or the cleats themselves, unless we're going back to leather and metal cleats. We wouldn't have mouth guards. We wouldn't have uniforms because those are made from synthetic fabric. We also wouldn't have stadiums because it takes oil and gas-powered machines to build them. We wouldn't have plastic seats. There'd be no artificial turf. We also wouldn't have plastic cups for beverages, which makes me realize that there'd be no tailgating because we wouldn't have vehicles. Even if they were all electric vehicles, they wouldn't have tires or any interior material. We also couldn't travel to attend games, and the teams couldn't travel to play games. And that'd be almost impossible without airplanes or buses or cars or roads. And if you're thinking, what about electric cars and buses? See my previous video on why even electric cars absolutely need oil and natural gas. Not only could we not travel to attend games, we couldn't even watch them on TV because TV cameras and even TVs require oil and natural gas products. So you might be thinking, okay, no helmets, no padding, that's basically rugby. And there's no doubt those rugby guys are tough, but even they wear cleats and uniforms and have some padding and play in stadiums, etc. Even the world's most popular sport, football, or as we in America call it, soccer, would be very different with no cleats, no shin guards, no lightweight, breathable uniforms made from synthetic fibers, no stadiums, no travel, and no TV for revenue or to connect with fans. Even basketball wouldn't have shoes or uniforms or modern nets or backboards or arenas. Can you imagine baseball without helmets and without padding and masks for the catcher and home plate umpire and other protective equipment? Maybe your favorite sport is golf or gymnastics or badminton or tennis or volleyball or table tennis or skiing. They all depend on oil and natural gas. Even the Olympics and Olympic sports wouldn't exist without travel and without uniforms or shoes or padding or helmets or waterproofing and insulating and no plastics and no stadiums. So I'd love to hear what your favorite sport would look like without oil and natural gas. So please leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you, and I hope this video has given you even more reason to appreciate oil and natural gas and the companies that produce them, and even more reason to oppose those politicians and activists who want to get rid of oil and natural gas. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you again soon.